What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Boots Ennis is back April 12th in Atlantic City. Now, uh, a famous boxing commentator, one who's been around a lot longer than a lot of us YouTubers, Steve Kim, says what we're missing is those hometown fights. And when he said hometown fights, he specifically said Philadelphia is one of the cities. And me personally, I like the fact that Boots is fighting in his backyard in AC. And I personally think boxing is more fun when it can be a fight in Vegas one week, it can be a fight in San Antonio the next week, a fight in Atlantic City, Philly, New York, DC Armory. I remember back in the day when we would get good fights at the DC Armory. A fight in California. Like every fight, every undercard doesn't need to be in Vegas because it spreads boxing out more. And then we have a huge fight like we had a couple of years ago with Spence versus Crawford. Then we can have that super mega fight in Vegas where everybody from all over the world can get there. But keeping fighters busy. Y'all remember the last video? I was complaining about the slow, boxing calendar in January. It's been almost 4 weeks, and we haven't really had any fights. We had Inoue this morning, but outside of that, it's not been really fun. So, anybody remember back in the day, Mike Tyson would fight in Atlantic City almost every week, all the time, and that's when boxing was fun. And also remember, Sugar Ray and the Hitman, my man from Detroit, Hearns, he would still fight. That fight was in Vegas. So in the 80s, you would have big fights in Vegas, in Atlantic City. Hopefully in the summertime we can get a big fight in Chicago. Florida has a lot of good boxing fans. Get some fights down there. But I'm glad Boots is fighting for it isn't undisputed, so it will be unified because Stanionis has one belt, I believe, and then Boots has one belt. So that will be unified. Undisputed, I think he would have to fight Brian Norman Jr., because we know Brian Norman Sr. fighting Greg Hackett. I'm going to watch that fight. I'm going to buy it. But yeah, I think it's the ring, the IBF, and whatever Stanionis got. And shout out to Stanionis, Al Heyman and his team for making this fight happen. A lot of people didn't think this could happen. So this fight in April, it'll be after the cold should be done out there in Jersey. I know it gets real cold in Jersey and all up and down the East Coast. So and then I know a lot of people who in boxing they fast. So Ramadan will be over in March. But when this fight happens, it should sell well. It should be a lot of people there. People should want to get out the house. College basketball will be over. NBA will be wrapping up. You'll know who's in the playoffs by that point. Major League Baseball will have been, in session for about 2 weeks at that point. So this is a good fight, good timing. I really hope, both tri-state areas, because people forget New York and Philly are both tri-state areas. Both of those sell that fight out. Hopefully some people from D.C. and Baltimore go, and then any high rollers around the country who just love boxing, hopefully they fly into D.C. or Atlantic City Airport, and they there to support the show. I'm glad to see this, because Boots got some criticism for not taking a 154 fight with Virgil Ortiz. His opinion was, I want to continue my path to undisputed. So this is one of those stops he had to make, and one of those fights he needed to make happen. And now, next up should be Brian Norman Jr., and then after that, Mario Barrios, and then Boots would be undisputed if he can win those fights. He has to get past Stanionis first. But I'm excited, man. So glad to see a fight in Atlantic City. Glad to see Boots getting back in the ring in the spring. And I'm out. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all excited for this fight? You happy? Indifferent? Whatever. But I can't wait. Peace.